Hey guys, Coach Kimmy here. I want to share another great book that I read, that I did, and I did the workbook to it, Hero on a Mission. This is Donald Miller, and he is such an upright, stand-up guy that I have ever met. He says that we have all four characters that live inside of every one of us universally, right? So we have a victim. We have our victim of our circumstances, a product of our childhood, if you didn't have a good childhood and a good life. And then we become the villain. We have a villain inside of us that after you have blamed everybody for your childhood, traumas and all the things that they've done to you, or if you're an adult and you feel messed up and a train wreck, we become the villain. We get mad at everybody around us that has hurt and harmed us and has created a lot of pain inside of us. And then we can become the hero of our own life. Once we're ready to realize and go within and learn how to shift the mindset to become a hero of your own life. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. The fourth character that lives inside of us is the guide. So I really feel like I've lived in victimhood for such a long time before I learned that I didn't have to. I was able to become the hero of my own life. Thank God, thank God, thank God, because it's not good when you live in victim and villainhood and be bitter and angry, because bitterness will suck the life out of you. I feel like a lot of times your own emotions will harm and hurt you more than things that other people say about you or to you, or gossip, right? If people talk about you, you get so upset and so offended. We're so offended and feel like, how dare that person talk bad about me? Yet we think it's okay that we talk bad about ourselves all day long by saying bad words in our mind, that I'm not enough, or I'm too heavy, or I'm too many wrinkles, or I don't like this about me, I don't like that about me. We really we'll say, I'm not smart enough, I'm too stupid for that, or I'm an effing idiot. I've heard people say lots of things about themselves, so it's important to know you can be the hero of your own life. You don't have to be a victim and a villain. Bitterness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Guys, they're not dying, we are. We're living this life, a slow death of pain, trauma, and emotions that are running and ruling us. So this is his workbook. He wants you to write where you want to be 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years. And then he also wants you to write your obituary. And of course, you don't want to manifest anything bad. So I wrote in there, I loved it. It's all, let me tell you, I read this over and over again because he wants you to imprint it into your mind for a good, I want to say 66 days. Always remember, it takes 66 days to imprint new patterns and new belief systems. We have to change our thinking. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, by Wayne Dyer, one of my favorite quotes ever. Your perception will change everything in your life. So I wrote my obituary, what I want people to say about me when they're at my funeral. And the reason why you write this is because you become that person. If you can start thinking how the person that you want other people to perceive you at, right? So for me, I said, I'm not gonna die until I'm 99 to 100 years old. And I was a fantastic mother, incredible wife, friend, boss, servant, and blessing to all those who touched her life. Kimmy was one of the most remarkable, outstanding women who turned all of life's sorrows and challenges into happiness and healing adventures. She lived her life to serve her loved ones and to make a great impact and difference in the lives of millions in this big, huge world, right? The orphans, the widows, hurting people that have gone through trauma and great pain. Her God was her papa and her creator and the lover of her soul and her spirit. She leaned on him for all of her strength and all of her power and all of her needs, because he gave her abundantly above, more than she could have ever asked or thought. Her love and her strength has transformed and changed her life. And she changed and transformed everybody else's life because of it. She was also a radical giver. Her aim in life was to learn, to be an insatiable learner, and she loved to learn, and she loved to pass it and pay it forward to all those that were able to be in her life. She believed that whatever you give out will always come back to you 100-fold through God. Now, Newton's law, I'm just going to teach you this because this is not a part of this, but Newton's law says that whatever you give out, you get back. See, when you have God's love and God's law and God's grace, which is way higher than the heavens and the earth, you know what I'm saying? Like much higher, because he, you know, made billions of galaxies, so that's how big he is, and the earth was just his footstool. God gives you 100-fold back, and that's how I feel like what he did in my life. Like whatever I gave out, he just gave me 100-fold. So whatever, that was her belief. And because she said, one of her famous sayings was, you can never outgive God. His supply is endless and inexhaustible. She doesn't want anyone to cry because she is with her maker. She has left her books of wisdom and understanding behind for you to learn from and to grow and make a difference in the world around you. First in yourself and then those around you. She wants you to be the change. Be transformed and renewed by the renewing of your mind. She wrote all her story in her New York best-selling in Time Life magazine, Amazon's #1 seller, From Tragic Beginnings to Fairy Tale Endings, Dreams Really Do Come True. And that tells of her life story, how to win in life and become the hero of your tragic beginnings. Her daughter was the light, the bright light, and the unconditional love in her life. Heather will be a double portion according to what God has told her mother. So Heather, you will be a double portion. God had given me that vision and that word years ago, and she's following my footsteps. It's so funny to see when God gave me that such a long time ago. So even though I didn't see it, because she'd say, Mom, I don't want to be like you. Mom, I don't want to be like you. I'm always in your shadow. I'm like, Heather, get out of my shadow. But I loved her so much, but I was controlling, and I kind of overdid, and I overfunctioned for her because I had a bad mother. And sometimes that's what we'll do, right? We can hurt and harm them by overfunctioning for them and not letting them learn and grow in healthy ways. I was controlling and trying to control everything she did. Of course, she produced anxiety and stress and other things because of that, but I have worked together with her to help her learn how to overcome those things. But it's really cool that she went to beauty culture in high school, which I thought she was never going to do. So all the things that I had written down that God had given me a word about always came true. You know, he told me as well that my father would get saved before he died, and he did. I have a lot of problems. He told me my first condo, he said, I will build you an exalted house and you will dwell in it. And do you know that I'll never forget it? I called this affordable housing, and they said, oh, you know, there's nothing left, and you know, they're not doing it anymore. It's going to the towns, and the state doesn't do it anymore. So they called me back 6 months later, and this lady says, hi, I just want you to know that I saved your file from 6 months ago, and we're doing affordable housing. You have 2 days left to get on the project. Can you come in tomorrow morning? I was like, yes, I'll be there. But God had given me that word a year prior to that. So I held on to those promises. You know, when God gives a promise to you, you could bank on it, just so you know, 100%. But you just better make sure that you're listening to God's voice and not your own. I feel like God is called our super conscious. You know, it's that still small voice that he'll speak to you, that you know in your intuition, in your gut, that it was his voice telling you something. And he's always for you, never against you. Even if bad things happen in our life, we have to know that God will turn them for good, for our good, through your belief and your understanding. So my daughter followed in my footsteps, and she is a hairdresser now, and she's a partner with me in the salon, and it's just so awesome and incredible. And that first condo I'm in, you know, when that lady called me back, I said, sure, went down, seen it, and it was like maybe 6 months after that we were in that condo, and I've been in there 20 years. Now I'm moving into my house. Yay, I'm super excited, can't wait. And what a great blessing. All my dreams have come true, and I'm just gonna keep going and growing, and so can you. So my name is Coach Kimmy, and I am always here to serve and to bless and to give and transform and help you have a miracle mindset. Have a wonderful day.